times. Queer times. Queer times.
Queer in.
Welcome to Queer Times.
My name is Kristen Becker.
I'm Harrison Fish.
How are you?
I'm really good. I had a really wild week. I was very busy at the front of the week, and I've spent the last few days simply recovering.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned we both had really big events upcoming this past week. I hosted the Bearded Mistress pageant, which is favorite day of the year. Just so wild and fun.
It's a great wild time where
Yeah.
many talented people put their talents on display in a cheeky, fun, very unserious way
Yeah.
to get their face on the side of a beer can. And who doesn't love that? That's
Literally.
That's as American as apple pie, I tell you what.
You judged. Did you have a good time judging?
I had a great time judging, and I was so thankful that Connie Lynn Gus, the winner, Marissa Miller, who also happens to be the house manager at Summer of Sass and therefore does work for House of Sass, that she was so undeniably talented that I did not have to actually rig the judging.
You were like, phew.
I really was. I was like, oh, this will be awkward if I have to really.
Yeah, she truly did amazing.
Knocked it out of the park. When you have somebody does a reveal on stage, and obviously the Bearded Mistress is about the beard, and the beard is a large component of it. And Marissa went on stage during her talent portion and removed her shirt to reveal nipples with very long beards.
Yeah, her nipples had beards.
Her nipples had beards. And I laughed so hard. And I pride myself on seeing a joke coming. And I didn't see it coming. And then what I also didn't see was that she would walk outside, have steps arranged so she could walk up on a large table outside and loose her pants and have yet another beard. And for me, that was the win. The second reveal really just pushed it over.
I mean,
the
a
top.
merkin really gets me.
A merkin will get me every time.
Yeah. I mean, the whole basis of this house number was also Marissa Miller's an incredibly talented singer. She's performed on Broadway before, and she sang "Climb Every Mountain" from Sound of Music, dressed as like a stereotypical like lesbian hiker.
You know what? Did you ever watch The Price is Right?
Yeah.
Remember there would be like the mountain.
Oh yeah.
You go up.
Very
That's
that.
exactly what that outfit looked like to
Yeah.
me, was the mountain climb around The Price is Right.
Yeah. And then as she removed her clothes to reveal all the beards, she then climbed on top of the table, like you said, which was the mountain she was climbing, and like planted a big gay pride flag.
Yeah. It was smart.
Yeah, when that happened and the audience like went wild, I was like, oh, winner.
No, she won it with that moment, I think. And then honestly could have flubbed a couple of things.
And didn't.
And did not.
Yeah, her interview was so fun.
Interview was great. Swimsuit was great. Swimsuit maybe like the one that had the least amount of thought into it. But evening wear, everybody else is in a gown. She's in like a satin robe.
Yeah, satin robe with a candelabra.
Like brilliant.
Yeah.
So hats off to Connie Lingus, Bearded Mistress 2025.
Work.
And congratulations to you for putting together an event that is really community-based. We all have a really great time. It raises money for a good cause. And I mean, you can't go wrong. It's a win-win for a P-Town event. For sure.
And also I do have to tip my hat to kind of everyone involved, but definitely all the other contestants. Usually the one thing I do love about the Bearded Mistress pageant is it's such a varied group of people that compete. I mean, we had cis women, non-binary people, established drag queens, baby drag queens, Dainty Poon. It was her first time in drag.
What a dainty little poon.
Yeah. And it just like everyone really rose to the occasion. Obviously, we have been praising Connie, but like everyone really did do such a fantastic job.
I had a great time, and I hope to always be a part of those.
You also had a big event. I feel like both of these events are like becoming hallmark P-Town things.
I hope so.
Yeah. Like Bearded Mistress, definitely like one of the people look forward to it all summer. People say it's their favorite night of the year. And also your event that you had this last week is becoming that so quickly.
Yeah. Strawberry Social, it was our third year. We had probably 25% more people. We had over 100 people this year. Incredible performances. We raised about $25,000. It was, my idea for this is always it's based off of Tu Wong Fu. The movie Tu Wong Fu.
Right.
Thank you for everything,
Yeah.
Julie Newmar. At the end of the movie, when the lawman catches up with the men in dresses, the drag queens, in that small town where their car broke down, that party that they're having is the Strawberry Social. and everyone in town comes out in drag to make it too confusing for the lawman to find the queens he's looking for. And so that's kind of been our cornerstone of where it came from. And last year we did a theme of Pink Pony Club. This year we did just too dressed to be stressed. Come in your fanciest red, and people did. There were strawberry hats. One woman was dressed as a strawberry. No, really, it was a phenomenal turnout. And again, it's an event that we really want to feel fun and a community gathering. And so that's what it was. And then we had also amazing performances by Yoli Mayor and Marissa Miller and Marty Miller and DJ Bear Barbie and DJ KT. You know, we had Hunter Love, Mackenzie hosted, just another all of the most talented people in town getting together on one stage to have a great time and raise great money. Leo catered, local caterers. So, and we had some incredible auction items. You know, we had hotel nights in P-Town, and we had win dinner with Murray Bartlett. Right? Which, by the way, for the record, dinner with Murray Bartlett at Sal's place was one for $1,600.
Damn.
A lot of money, but for you fellas out there, a woman in Plymouth outbid all of you. So, like,
that's crazy.
Get it together, boys.
Yeah.
And they're all like, we see Murray every day.
Yeah.
Like, we're not gonna
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm like, if
yeah.
I wanted to have dinner with Murray, I'd text him.
Yeah, exactly. But you could have dinner with Murray and get a text right out.
Also, he has like a little strawberry connection as well.
I had no idea.
Do we not lean into that?
I didn't know.
One of the greatest episodes of television ever is Murray's episode of The Last of Us.
I did see that.
Yeah. And there's this, I mean, the whole idea is that it's post-apocalyptic and like you can't get your hands on anything. And he surprises his partner with
Neil Offerman?
Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman, not
he surprises his partner with a strawberry patch.
Wow. You're right. Yeah. I should have, I really should have tied that in.
Strawberries are also kind of my thing. People always gift me strawberry things because I love strawberries.
I was obviously a big strawberry shortcake kid growing up. And my Aunt Mary and Papa, my great aunt and uncle, we lived above them. And they always had a garden in the yard. And I always had a strawberry patch. And so wherever I live, I tend to make sure that there's a strawberry patch. And so at the Sass house in the middle, the walkway, that's all strawberries in that middle.
Cute.
Yeah.
Do the birds eat them?
Not if you pick them quick enough.
Okay. No, I saw this thing probably on TikTok. I don't know where, but if you paint rocks to look like strawberries,
then the birds will hit the rocks, and then
they'll be like, "Oh, those are rocks."
Hey, I've seen.
But congratulations, $25,000. That is wild.
It does feel like a great chunk.
Yeah.
My goal is for this to be the next white party. Like, I want this to be an event that becomes cool enough that people want to sponsor it, and then we're raising $100,000 a year. And
the white party is Labor Day weekend, the Saturday of Labor Day weekend here in Provincetown. And it usually raises around $100,000 for Outer Cape
Health Services.
Yeah, which is our little health service.
Our little health service.
It's crazy.
It's our little clinic.
Yeah, but did you hear they just stopped doing? They're stopping emergency
they have to
urgent care.
They have to.
Why? Oh, because
it's federally funded. And we are rural. We are a rural area. I have spoken to some folks about, whether or not the SAS property could partner with somebody and provide space for gender affirming care in town. Like, could there be some sort of a partnership with a Boston-based clinic or something where maybe just twice a week somebody comes down and could tend to some of that, because that will surely be a thing that goes away for anybody that's getting federal funding.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because Outer Cape Health Services did have a really good.
It's unfortunate because they're basically dictating. I mean, they're doing this with more things than just gender affirming care, but they're dictating how a doctor can service their patients by saying, if you do this, we won't give you this money. If you take care of these people, we won't give you any money to use towards that, which is really crazy. Like, obviously, abortion, that was a tactic for abortion. And while I don't believe that a child, that life begins at conception, I don't believe that. I do think that there was more of an argument to be made that we're trying to save lives, and that's why we're muscling the strength of our pocketbook and our wallet to make you fall into line as a health clinic. But this idea where the government is overreaching so far into the personal lives of everyday Americans and now using our tax dollars to do so and dictate the care that we could get. If this community decides that we give a shit about trans people, now they're trying to say, oh, no, you can't do that either. And that feels like such an egregious overreach of the government that if anyone was truly a conservative, they'd be pissed off about it. Anyway, speaking of this government,
Yeah.
I think I'm really want to unpack this. The hot topic of the week is the gerrymandering in Texas and the redistricting and the blatant criminal behavior that's happening right now.
Yeah. Let's first talk about like what gerrymandering is.
Okay. Yeah.
So the term gerrymandering was actually coined in 1812, and it's a portmanteau of Elbridge Gerry, who was the governor of Massachusetts. Can you believe gerrymandering was born in our backyard?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's weird that he spelled it with a G and not a J, I'll tell you that.
That is true. But he signed
Looks like gerrymandering to me.
Gerrymandering. But that year he signed a redistricting bill in Massachusetts designed by the Democratic Republican Party to weaken the Federalist opposition. And one district in Essex County was so oddly shaped that critics said it looked like a salamander.
Wow.
And when they drew a political cartoon about it, they called it the Gerrymander.
I see.
That specific district.
Did you know that the same governor was a signer of the Declaration of Independence?
Work.
And was also the vice president to James Madison?
Work. I did not know that.
I did not know that either.
Huh.
But his name, however, was forever negatively linked to this form of political power broking. Because it's a bad thing. Because the signers of the Constitution literally are like, gerrymandering, that's a bad thing.
Yeah. It subverts the democratic process.
It takes the voice of the people away.
Yeah.
Elected representatives are supposed to win the votes of the people in their district. They're not supposed to pick who's in their district.
So that they can win. Exactly.
Exactly.
Basically, like I was saying, like a 60-40 split should be 6-4. But basically, you can draw the districts to manipulate. Yeah, and you could go all Democrat or Republican, even though it's a 60-40 split. And there's actually two ways that you can gerrymander. There's two like types of gerrymander, and there's packing and there's cracking. Packing would be like, say you want to have Democrats have less power than Republicans. You put all the Democratic votes into one district. So that one district obviously goes Democrat, but all the other districts can go Republican.
Yes.
Cracking is basically like, say an urban area or a city is where all the Democratic votes are. You split up that district into 4 different ones, and then like grab a bunch of Republican voters to basically spread those Democratic voters across enough so that they won't win at all.
I mean, Illinois is a great example of just how does this district just go?
Yeah, like snakes around.
Yeah.
I mean, so basically, typically you redraw your districts every 10 years after the census.
Correct.
Because populations change, things like that.
And that's reasonable and fair. No, I think that revisiting populations every decade and making sure, as we're talking about a distribution of power across the country based on population, making sure that, we know how many people are wherever they are and that those places are represented appropriately, that makes sense to me. But that's not what they're doing here.
No, exactly. So basically,
if you don't know, 2025 is not a census year.
No, as it has a 5 in it. Basically, this all started when Texas announced that they were going to be redistricting mid-decade, which is extremely rare. And there's word that it came on the heels of Donald Trump calling Governor Abbott of Texas and being like, you have to get me 5 seats.
No, that's exactly what happened. Donald Trump knows that he's going into a midterm election where he's not favored to win. Or not him, the Republican Party is going to lose seats because people are pissed. And even if they're only pissed about Epstein, they're still pissed. And so in an effort to thwart that, he's decided that he'll just find more seats. And he'll find more seats for the Republican Party. That way, even if Democrats flip 4 or 5 seats, they'll still retain a majority.
Right.
He doesn't believe he has to uphold the Constitution to find a way to win.
Right.
He's willing to thwart the Constitution
Yeah.
to find a way to win.
So Governor Abbott is saying that the previous districts were drawn along strict racial lines. The state's previous stance was that the maps were race blind. People are responding to that and saying that these redistricting plans are politically motivated and their goal is to dilute the voting power of Black and Latino communities in Texas. And basically what they're trying to do is, obviously, like most states, the rural areas are red and more urban city areas are blue. And they're basically trying to redraw districts so that Dallas, Houston, and Austin, which is basically these like blue little blobs in the middle of Texas, are split up enough. He's basically trying to crack those districts to remove Democratic districts in Texas.
And the Texas Democrats responded by leaving the state.
Yeah. 50 Texas House Democrats have left the state. They're going to places Chicago, New York, Massachusetts. And basically this is to deny a 2/3 quorum required to pass legislation in the state of Texas. So basically 2/3 of the state representatives or state senators have to be present in order to even make a vote. And basically they're trying to delay this session for the next 30 days so that they can't vote on it. And the GOP is trying their best to make sure that doesn't happen. They issued arrest warrants for all the absent lawmakers.
Which, now, this is where, and I think this is what a thing that everyone has to pay attention to, is they did issue an arrest warrant, but a Texas arrest warrant has no merit in Illinois or California or anywhere. The only person who really does, the only people who do, are the FBI.
Right.
And this is where I think it's getting really dicey, and I'm interested to see where this goes. Number one, some people will say these Democratic lawmakers are just grandstanding by leaving the state so that they can't get a quorum, because all it's doing is kicking the can down the road. And that is a fact. They are just kicking, but it is some sort of resistance that we really need to have. And the idea, I believe, is that they're slowing down this process so that the word gets spread to enough of the population so that maybe there is pushback in a bigger way, right? They're trying to hold the line long enough to get more people informed of this power grab that's happening right now under this, quite frankly, overreaching Republican government, so that people can kind of start contacting the Republican lawmakers and saying, what are you doing? There's been some incredible citizens speaking up and resisting at town hall meetings in the state of Texas. I definitely watch some of those videos if you can, of men who talk like this, who you think might be against you, who are standing up and saying, I drove 3 hours to tell you you're full of shit. And it makes you feel good on the inside, to be honest. If you can get a redneck calling out fascism, it's a great time. It does feel nice on your soul. It's a soothing balm. But yeah, so Texas is now asking if the FBI will help them go arrest Democratic lawmakers in other states. And this is, I think, a very serious moment in this escalation of fascism. If the FBI will do the bidding of a Texas Republican governor, we have real fucking problems on it.
Yeah.
I mean, we obviously have.
Whenever you start locking up elected officials for any reason, it's really worrisome. There's
also apparently been bomb threats at the hotels that these Democratic lawmakers are staying at in Illinois. And this is from The Atlantic. In short, if the FBI provides Texas Republicans with substantive assistance in bringing their Democratic counterparts back to Austin, that will be utterly unmoored from the FBI's statutory authority and completely outside the bounds of its existing domestic operations guidelines. So I think we're going to see in the next week or two what happens next. And I would say, if you're one of those people who is afraid, if the FBI does start doing the bidding of Republican governors, we have real problems on our hands.
Yeah.
I do like, on the flip side now, we are, as the Democratic Party, stepping away from when they go low, we go high.
Mm.
We are now I do like Kathy Hochul, as well as, Gavin Newsom. Kathy Hochul in New York and Gavin Newsom in California have both said, "Okay, fine, we'll redraw too." What do you think about that? Like, what are your thoughts about that?
It's the game that's being played.
You have to play the game that's
Yeah.
being played. And I think Democrats have for so long really believed that. And you know what I think is interesting? Is that Democrats believing that taking the high road and like doing what is morally correct, regardless of the weapons of war that are being waged against them, doing the right thing, is such a Christian thing to do. I just think it's really funny that like the religious right are Republicans and they're like so into dirty play and like shortcuts and cheating and all of this thing, but they're like we're the Christian American party.
Yeah.
And the Democrats are trying to be morally correct in some ways. I do think I'm happy at this point that Democrats are at least going, all right, well, yeah, you're not the only one with a state with a lot of people that we could draw a shit ton of maps about.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see the redistricting that might happen in places like New York and California that have large populations that we really could carve out a lot more seats.
Yeah. I mean, there's also the trouble with that is that most Democratic run states have independent bipartisan committees that oversee district drawing.
Because we want to be on the up and not shady.
Right.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Republican led states are just being run by Republicans. And obviously they're going to do what's best for them.
Boom, that's what Jesus would want. I do believe that the California route is to get a vote from the people to say, we're going to let you do this for X amount of years. And I think it's basically till Trump dies. Like, but it does seem because they do have an independent council or an advisory who helps them with their redistricting.
And I also think that this Democratic idea of like, oh, but if we do what's right, they'll have to do what's right too. I'm like, we've seen it time and time again that is just not how it works. Like when the Democratic Party demanded that Al Franken step down.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever.
Yeah.
The purity test of that was insane.
Yeah, because if we do this, then they'll have to make when people like and then like so we have Al Franken stepping down, and not to diminish what happened, but like a photo from years and years ago of him.
He wasn't even grabbing. He was doing this to a woman's chest and not actually even really touching them, but just making the joke. How many photos? I mean, I've taken a lot of photos where I'm with a woman and I go, and I never
Canceled. Get out.
No.
Step down from your seat.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I'm sure. If I gave a fuck.
Yeah.
But,
and then meanwhile, like a couple years later, we have Matt Gaetz talking about sex trafficking and sleeping with 15-year-old girls, allegedly.
The very politically correct is over right now. That's over. That's one of the things that we lost with the Trump presidency. If I were Al Franken and I did want to re-enter politics, Al, are you listening? Now is the time, because they can't really talk about sexual predation at the moment. They're kind of caught up in this Epstein thing. So if I were Al Franken, I'd be like, I think I'm going to run for senator again. And maybe we could even draw you your own district. I feel like that's what I would do. Minnesota feels like it could use a couple extra Democrats.
I also wonder if this gerrymander would even work, simply because, and I've been fooled by this before, but like every day that goes by, and I said this before the 2024 election, which makes me feel really stupid now, but every day that goes by, I don't think Trump is doing anything to gain followers. I don't think anyone is being like, you know what? I like him now. But I feel like every day he is doing things that are potentially losing him followers.
I think that what the part that is missing from your equation is that he is not, but the manosphere is. There is active recruitment of young men into the Christian right. And so it's not that he's doing anything that gets followers, it's that his machine is cranking out a lot of Christian right, men first shit that is, they're recruiting from churches. They're recruiting from places that they're driving home this biblical time, women serve men. Oh, young white men, are you isolated? Are you lonely? That's because the world's not working the way it's supposed to. It's supposed to work where you have a subservient woman and you're supposed to be the head of your household. And you can't, what? What do you mean? You know what I mean? Like the whole incel movement, the whole manosphere, as they call it, he doesn't have to do anything that wins people over. He just has to keep building. He has soldiers building his army. President Trump has claimed that Massachusetts Democrats have gerrymandered the state's districts, denying Republican representation in the state of Massachusetts. For the record, he's saying that was in the Boston Globe 4 days ago.
It's insane.
Yeah.
We're also not saying that there is gerrymandering. Most of the gerrymandering in the United States heavily favors Republicans, but there are states that are gerrymandered to favor Democrats.
I'm having a hard time figuring out how we could care so much, or some people could care so much about the Constitution and then rip it up the minute it does a disservice to them.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, if you're out there, pay close attention to the news.
Yeah.
This week, see what happens. If the FBI starts to pick up lawmakers from the state of Texas in other states, maybe it's time to start packing a bug out bag.
Should we talk about something like kind of fun?
All right. What do you got?
Let's talk about women's basketball.
Hey,
you know my favorite topic.
I know what's happening.
Yeah. So
is it real? Is it happening?
It's still up in the air.
Okay.
So basically, there's been rumors, or not rumors, a few months ago, the Connecticut Sun basically contacted a financial asset management company to represent them in a potential sale of the Connecticut Sun. The Connecticut Sun has been a WNBA team since the early 2000s. Most women's basketball teams are in NBA markets as well. But what made the Connecticut Sun really special Connecticut really is one of the strongholds of women's basketball.
Why? Just to that point real quick. When you just said that, I was like, actually, why is the Sun not doing better? Because UConn, I feel like UConn is women's basketball as much as the Tennessee Volunteers are, right? And so why is UConn so strong that the WNBA can't compete with college?
Well, what do you mean? Like they're a bad team, or they're
not selling tickets? I mean, you don't move a franchise if you're selling out.
Well, here's I think they do sell tickets.
Okay.
They do sell tickets. Their games do fairly well. I think the reason they're selling is because the Connecticut Sun still kind of operates under the idea of what the WNBA is from 5-10 years ago.
Okay.
Their program and their their resources that they have for their team is still on par with what all the teams had 5-10 years ago.
Okay.
When the New York Liberty was playing in Westchester to a few hundred people and practicing at a local gym.
Okay.
In the meantime, the New York Liberty now is playing at the Barclays Center, has its dedicated state-of-the-art practice facility for their players. They are investing so much money in it. And I think the reason the Connecticut Sun is selling is they would have to invest $100 to $200 million into the team to make them be on par with some of the larger, more successful, more up-to-date franchises like Indiana Fever, what they've done with their team over the past couple of years, with the New York Liberty, with the LA Sparks. I mean, the Connecticut Sun were in the playoffs a couple of years ago, and they had to cancel one of their practices during their playoff run because the gym that they typically use to practice had a toddler's birthday party scheduled in it. So I think they're looking at it as we could invest all this money or be done. And I know that sounds like a little fucked up, but I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago, it came out in the news that Steve Pagliuca, who is a minority owner of the Boston Celtics, that he agreed to purchase the Connecticut Sun for a record-setting $325 million, along with a proposed $100 million or more commitment toward a new practice facility in Boston. And that's what you have to do to have a team that is competitive these days, because your players are going to be Like Marina Mabrey wanted a trade at the beginning of the season, and she was like, "You have to trade me," because she doesn't want to live in northeastern Connecticut. She doesn't want to practice in a community center gym. She's one of the best women's basketball players in the world. She wants a franchise around her that is supporting her and helping her win.
I'm like having a female moment over here right now because I'm torn with this where, there's a lot of investment in women's sports, and I was an athlete and I played sports and excited to see it happening. But watching men invest in women's sports to make themselves a lot of money while women are simultaneously losing rights it's weird.
Yeah.
And it's weird to think like, wait, so you guys do think that the WNBA is a thing and it's going to last, but none of them better get pregnant because half of these states, they're going to have to keep it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's just such a weird mental space to have a vagina right now, to be honest.
And
like or to be able to birth, I guess, which I'm just about out of those years. So I guess maybe it won't stress me out as much. But the female experience right now is a fucking mind fuck.
Yeah. I mean, you also look at, like, I know we've talked about Unrivaled before here, but you do see the stark differences in a league that is made for the players, by the players, and by women who are involved in it. There is free childcare. All of that stuff is built into it.
Oh, yeah, because they have to keep the babies now in Florida.
Right. But I do...
That's fucked!
Yeah. But I do feel like that will all be part of the players' agreement. And I do hear what you're saying. There's such a huge frustration that I'm feeling right now. I'm a Dallas Wings fan because I love so many of the players, Paige Beckers, Enrique Ngumbawale. They just traded away one of my favorite players. But I love that team. And I'm so frustrated because they hired a new coach this year.
Okay.
His name is Chris Clanes. He has about 4 years of assistant coaching. And it is so frustrating that the best female athletes in the world in Paige Beckers, Enrique Ngumbawale are like, oh, I know you're the best player in the world and this is supposed to be about you in this moment. What if we let this man give it a try? And you're part of the experiment.
No, that's really insane.
Yeah. And when the NBA isn't going to give anyone a chance with 4 years assistant coaching experience, let alone a woman.
No, that's insane.
Yeah. If like I understand the WNBA is a young league, but if you are not a young league, but an up and coming league in this moment.
Is it a budget thing?
No.
How much is he getting paid?
I don't know. But for me, it's like, if you're going to give someone with not a lot of experience a chance in a women's league, it should be a woman, because the reason that women don't have the experience as these other men that are applying for the jobs is because they've been denied that. Where a man, there are so much opportunity for men's coaches across the country, and then you're picking one that doesn't have any experience.
It shocks me that there are no women qualified, and that there should have been quotation marks for
there are women that are qualified, but there aren't as many women who have coaching experience, but that's for a reason. That's because they've been denied that. It's because there's never been a coach of an NBA team that's a woman. Like, there is I'm guessing maybe a tiny handful of women's coaches coaching at the collegiate level. As of now, there are no women who are head coaches of NCAA Division I's men's basketball team.
But how many are coaching women's teams?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Probably half. Basically, Lisa Leslie, who's one of the greatest women's basketball players of all time, revealed that she was in talks.
I thought you were about to say I got into it with Lisa Leslie.
Yeah, you know me and Lisa Leslie, we got into it. When I went to an Unrivaled game, I did literally bump into her. Like, was walking and was like, douche.
Did you say you're sorry?
Like, oh my God. Of course. And then I went, oh my God, and then walked away. But she revealed that she was in talks to coach 2 teams, and they didn't offer her the position. And I wonder if Dallas is one of them. But a lot of people, as I was like, how do you fumble? Like, on what planet would you not want Lisa Leslie? And all these fucking men got in the comments who were like, well, it's kind of proven that often star players aren't good coaches.
Why are they mad because Lisa Leslie can dunk?
Right. But also, what pisses me off about that is you're basing that on a bunch of men who were great players that sucked at coaching.
Ooh.
And you have to admit that the experience of a star male basketball player as they're coming up through middle school, high school, college is so fucking different than the experience of a woman star basketball player coming up.
Preach.
Yeah.
Keep going. Don't stop.
They had to work harder for it. They weren't put on a pedestal nearly as much as men's star players are.
90% of them were called lesbians in high school.
Yeah, they were made fun of for it.
Correct.
They weren't put on a pedestal. They
didn't get invited to
believe they were
dances.
gods.
They didn't get to go to dances because they were tall freaks.
Yeah. So like, don't tell me that it's just such a different thing that we're talking about. Don't tell me these men were star players and didn't end up being good coaches, which is I'm like, I think we got to test it out with women.
Yeah, because men are by default selfish assholes.
Yes.
And ones that you put on a pedestal become even more selfish.
Yes. Egomaniacs. Back to the Connecticut Sun.
Okay, yeah.
There was a bit of a contentious moment. So Jen Rosati, notably one of the best players on the 1995 UConn women's team, the first women's national title they won alongside Rebecca Lobo, is the president of the Sun organization. And she in an interview said, like, as much as this is a deal that is in process, it has not reached the finish line.
Okay.
And basically, I think what has happened is the Mohegan Sun, who owns the Connecticut Sun, agreed to this deal with Steve Pagliuca from the Celtics, but you also have to present this to the WNBA board.
Yeah.
It has to be approved. And that's just the sale. You then have to approve a move. So she's like, this isn't a done deal. And in light of that, there was another bid that has come up. I don't know if it was already in the works or if they were like, oh, we want to get in on this too. So Mark Lasry, who lives in Connecticut, he has a big investment firm, a capital group, and later was an owner. In 2014, he purchased the NBA's Milwaukee Bucks for $550 million.
Okay.
In 2023, he sold it out for $3.5 billion.
Wow.
It's a good deal. I think he made out. But basically, his offer is over $300 million as well. He committed to a large practice facility, but he wants to move the team to Hartford. Keep it in Connecticut, but move it to Hartford. The People's Bank Arena in Hartford was just recently renovated. So basically, he is also in the works trying to get this done. And there hasn't been a lot of more details coming out of which this will work out, if any. They have announced that the Connecticut Sun will play in Connecticut at Mohegan Sun for the 2026 season. I want a WNBA team in the Boston market simply because I know that Boston, it's a sports town.
Yeah.
They support their teams.
It's a basketball town. My great uncle grew up in Worcester, and I grew up being a Celtics and a Red Sox fan because it's a great sport town, right?
Yeah.
Like, I would be a Patriots fan, but the Bills are better.
I grew up in Connecticut, so I'm one of those weirdos where I'm like a Yankees, Celtics, Patriots fan.
Ew. My sister is a Yankees fan, which I don't understand.
I mean, I would say Bruins fan as well, but I was a Hartford Whalers.
I'm a Sabres fan.
Yeah, I think
I'm a Sabres fan. I'm a Bills fan. I'm a Red Sox fan. I'm a Celtics fan.
Okay.
And I'm also a Saints fan.
What's your WNBA team? Do you have one?
I gotta be honest with you. I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay.
You've really inspired me.
Yeah.
I've been kind of holding out because, number one, I'm a Paige Beckers fan.
Work.
Agreed, wholeheartedly. I'm also an Angel Reese fan.
Yeah.
Part of me is drawn to the Atlanta Dream, and I think that's the southernness in me that really likes that. But I am feeling like if this is going to be a Boston team, that this might be my time to like
really lean in.
To have a new Boston thing.
Yeah.
That I could really get into and go to games and be a season ticket holder and have fun with it.
Yeah, totally.
Maybe not a season ticket holder because it seems that their season is in the summer.
Yeah.
Which I did like.
It's a P-Towner.
It is hard as a P-Towner, but
I'm trying to get Ethan into it as well.
Amazing. I don't think he does sports at all, though.
I don't think he does either, but
he could do Ellie.
He's a big Lady Gaga fan.
Yes.
So he really gagged over the Ellie Gaga thing. And this morning I posted a tunnel fit of Ellie, and he messaged me and he's like, I'm not even a basketball fan, but I love Ellie.
Yes.
And I was like, well, it is a league that is predominantly made up of queer Black women. Like, it's the biggest thing in the world that is a showcase for queer Black women. And he was like, huh.
Yeah, if you're gonna support something, this is the thing
Yeah.
to support. And we're gonna have some playoff viewing parties, I think, this weekend, right? Let's do that.
Excited.
Let's host some WNBA playoff. The playoffs are supposed to begin September 14th.
Mhm.
And that's when season is winding down for us, and it's our townie summer. So I'm excited to see about some viewing parties.
Yeah, I don't think any of my teams are gonna make it into the playoffs, unfortunately.
Who do you think's gonna be in the playoffs? The Fever?
The Lynx, the Liberty, the Dream, the Mercury, Fever, and then there's 4 teams that could get the last 3 spots.
So only one team won't make the playoffs?
5 teams won't make the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
But 4 of them I don't think have a chance.
Okay, I see. I was just gonna say that would be really terrible if like you have a league where literally only one of you doesn't make the playoffs.
Right. But I don't think Dallas will make it. I don't think the Connecticut Sun will make it. I don't think Chicago will make it. And I think those are, and then there's the Washington Mystics, the Valkyrie, the Sparks, the Dream, that are all kind of like fighting for those last.
You don't
3
think
spots.
the Wings are gonna make it?
No.
All right. Well, we will watch some of those together starting
Yeah.
September 14th at a to be determined location.
Work.
That is the end of our episode, Harrison.
Okay.
If you think so, I think so. I think it's good. I think we talked for a while. We already gave Chad a lot.
We talked for a lot. Yeah.
Listen, like, subscribe, tell your friends,
Mhm.
and we'll see you.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you next week.
Hey, y'all.
Bye.
Queer is in.